Look closely at the phone in your hand. Feel the weight of it. Notice the solid walls of the room you're sitting in. Our senses assure us that this physical world is dense and absolute. But if you strip away the illusion and zoom into the atomic structure of that device, you'll find that it is 99.99% empty space. To understand why we perceive a solid world that isn't actually there, cognitive scientist Donald Hoffman points to evolution. Evolution didn't wire human senses to show us the true nature of reality. It wired us to survive. Knowing the absolute truth of physics doesn't help you escape a predator, but having a simplified, easily readable user interface does. Think about the mechanics of that interface, the distinct colors of the objects around you, the sound of my voice. None of these exist in the external world. Outside your head, there are only invisible electromagnetic waves and variations in air pressure. Your brain intercepts those silent, colorless waves and translates them into the vivid sounds and colors you experience. The macroscopic, three-dimensional world we interact with daily is a biological dashboard. It is a highly effective rendering that keeps us alive, while completely hiding the actual machinery running the universe. To find out what is actually running underneath that biological dashboard, we have to look past human perception and examine the base layer of reality at the quantum level. This diagram illustrates the Double Slit Experiment. When unobserved, an electron behaves as a probability wave, passing through two slits simultaneously to create a complex interference pattern. But place a detector near the slits, and the wave function instantly collapses, forming two distinct lines. You might assume the particle was always in one solid place, and we just lacked the tools to see it before measuring. Physicist John Bell created a mathematical test to check for these hidden properties. The test revealed that the properties simply aren't there. A particle does not possess a fixed location before you look. The physicists who conducted the experiments proving this lack of hidden variables were awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2022. The math holds up. Objective matter does not sit independently in the dark, waiting to be found. Its physical form is dictated entirely by the act of being observed. If matter requires observation to exist, what about the stage it sits on? At a macroscopic level, space appears smooth and continuous, but shrink down to 10 to the power of -35 meters, the Planck length, and the geometry of space completely breaks down into meaningless fluctuations. Distance also loses its authority at this scale. Through a phenomenon called quantum entanglement, two particles can be separated by vast distances, even thousands of miles, and still react to one another instantly, without any physical signal traveling through the space between them. Even Albert Einstein vehemently resisted this breakdown of physical space. He famously dismissed entanglement as spooky action at a distance, because it defied the rigid laws of classical logic. Watch how this timeline diagram models the delayed choice quantum eraser experiment. It demonstrates that time is just as flexible as space. A decision to measure a particle at the end of its journey can retroactively alter the path it took in the past. The relentless forward flow of time we experience isn't a hard law of nature. It is a statistical byproduct of complex systems naturally moving from order to disorder, a process known as entropy. Space and time are not a fixed container holding the universe. They are emergent illusions generated entirely by the shifting connections between quantum states. If there is no objective matter, no fixed space, and no rigid arrow of time, what exactly is the universe made of? In 1970, Stephen Hawking and Jacob Bekenstein discovered a geometric impossibility while studying black hole entropy. They proved that the total information contained inside a black hole is not proportional to its three-dimensional volume, but rather to the two-dimensional surface area of its outer boundary. This finding led to the holographic principle. If the information of a 3D object can be fully described on a 2D surface, then our entire universe, the gravity, the stars, the planets, may be a projection of data stored on a lower dimensional boundary. Physicist John Wheeler took this further with his concept of it from bit. He proposed that every it, every particle and force, is actually an output of binary information. Reality, at its core, is a series of yes or no logic gates. In this framework, the universe isn't a physical place. It is a massive, ongoing computation, and the matter we touch is simply the way our biological interface renders that data. If the universe is a sea of information and probability, what triggers the code to render into the physical objects you see right now? This is the measurement problem. We know that observation collapses probability into a definite object, but there is no clear boundary where the quantum world ends and the real world begins. Since our measuring tools are also made of quantum particles, they should theoretically remain in a state of probability along with the object they are measuring. The Wigner's friend thought experiment suggests the chain of probability only breaks at the level of awareness. A scientist in a lab might see a result, but until an external conscious mind registers that result, the entire lab, scientist included, remains a blur of conflicting possibilities. If the universe is built of information, it requires a processor to give that data meaning. This is the participatory universe. It suggests that consciousness isn't a byproduct of the universe. It is the final circuit that allows the information to lock in and manifest as a defined experience. You are not a guest sitting inside a pre-existing reality. The room around you exists because you are there to register the data that defines it. When the matter, space, and time are stripped away, your act of experiencing is the only thing that remains to hold the universe together.